Okay. So before we start, I want to thank Daniel Cousins for asking Ira Zlotowitz to speak tonight. So everyone participating in this drasha, we want to thank him for bringing him in. And really, I have Hatorah to our speaker tonight for over probably 2 decades. Because, I don't know if you know, there used to be a program, I don't think it's around anymore, but it's called Maskan Gavaya. It encouraged people, young Talmidim and Yeshiva Ketana, and Hatorah to learn. And I was part of the program, so I wanted to thank you for that. And I don't think that's the only thing they used to do to help inspire people to learn. So it's a great privilege that he's here tonight. So we'd like to ask Rav Ira to speak and share some words of wisdom.
I hope I live up to the expectations and accomplish. I figured, I started out, I got married at 20, I went to work at 21. There was no such yeshiva like this, half a day concept. It was either left or right, there's nothing in the middle. The first yeshiva in Lakewood that opened up was Greenwald. Yes. My brother-in-law came around the corner, he started doing from the Sarah Shannon. So it's a close thing in my heart to be able to set up a structure like this. I really wanted to share a few different business things that some things on the ruchnistic level. It's a Torah, you're learning and you're working. Let me bring in some ruchnistic things into it. I had this list in my life to be able to train more people to go into commercial real estate, people that went on to making millions, tens of millions, and the most successful was in 9 figures. And I wanted to share some of the things that I gave over there. A lot of it I gave over, the things I got from my father as well. My father, for those who don't know, started and published the Art Scroll series. That's my father. One of the things, when I went to work, he used to call me every day, did you make money today? If my answer was no, go back to Yeshiva. You only have to leave Yeshiva if you're making money, so it's a bad day, go back there. So I'll say some of the things that I know brokers in my office over the years always stood out, and then I'll give you really practical advice that my son's coming there, that actually my son what he should do, and it's relevant to everybody here in what you're doing. So, a lot of times people say, I made a deal with God. I'll be nice to this person, she won't pay me back. My father said the only time the Baruch Hashem said you can make a deal with him is with tzedakahs. I don't know this. Test me. So I always say this story that there's this person has a candy store. There's a kid standing outside the candy store looking inside. So the owner goes outside, gives the kid a candy, the kid says no thank you. But he stays staring in the window. So maybe he didn't like the candy they offered him. He tells the kid, come inside, pick any candy you want. The kid comes in, looks around, says no thank you, and he goes outside. The owner's getting a little frustrated, something's wrong, he's still staying here. He calls the kid inside and he goes, listen, your hands are too small, hold out your shirt. And then the owner puts his hand into the candy and keeps filling up his shirt. The kid's walking out smiling to walk out. And he tells the kid, before you leave, what happened? What was going on? He goes, very simple. Look at my hands and look at your hands. How much was I able to put in my hands? How much could I have taken? We say to the Baruch Hashem and daven 3 times a day. The Baruch Hashem to make someone a gevir any amount of money doesn't make a difference. Open up your hands and give me from the Yishmael. 3 times a day to have that kavanah to go. So the Chachamim of Bedois, I tell people coming to business, make a deal with the Baruch Hashem. People watch Shark Tank. They give away an equity stake in the business to have the shark in your pocket. People in business are studying analytics, conversion rates. Who controls the conversion rates? Right? You said you run out of shul early, keep your structure. The Baruch Hashem decide your conversion rate for the day. You have to reach your moon b'tach and keep working on it. But tell Baruch Hashem, I'll become your partner. But when do you start that partnership? Today. While you're making your first paycheck, it's not a big paycheck, and you have so many expenses. Tell God, Baruch Hashem, listen, I took my 20% now when I couldn't even afford it. Let me become a gevir later on, because you'll see I'm a good partner. I'm a good gizber, I'll take care of it. I'm not just going to wait. When I make money, I'll give tzedakah. It doesn't work that way. Now you want to give it. I remember I had a broker working in the office that I thought had crazy talents, and I told him, I said, how much money do you think you'll make this year? And this number was a big number. I said, why don't you make a deal with God? Every dollar above that number, go 50-50. Okay. I made that year millions of dollars. And at the end of the day, I said, you renewing the deal? He goes, no. I said, crazy. You make it like everyone has the joke. Okay, so on the tzedakah thing, the other thing is I had this list to go. Growing up, even after I got married, I went back to with my father, davening with him on Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Always went back. And actually, he bought Pesach Vanilla his whole life, and then I'll tell you a side story here. It's not published in the book. Bought Pesach Vanilla. Every year he bought it, and they never really bothered him. It was whatever the price, $2,000. Like you get 4 plates now, spent 10, 18,000. He bought it. At least that year, in hindsight, was the last year of his life. This guy comes to shul, this young, wealthy, doesn't believe in the old system. He comes in, he also wants it. He starts bidding. So I start bidding him up, bidding with him. My father's going crazy. It's 10,000. Father made me stop. And my father missed it that year. So I always check with the guy. He called my father. You know, but at the end of the day, here's the story on this. That is the line my father used to say down with him is that people are always nervous to daven to the Baruch on mundane things. Davening to Baruch I should only talk about holy things. I'm talking about the fact that someone's bothering me. I'm going to a meeting tonight. That's not what you bring up. You bring up a holistic level. And he shows you in the Yom Kippur davening. It says the Kohen Gadol once a year goes in the Kodesh Kodashim. Once a year. And what is he davening for? He davens for Parnassah for Klal Yisrael. But if you read it next time, he doesn't just daven for Parnassah for Klal Yisrael. He davens to Rebbeinu Shalom. Don't listen to the tourists. This is his tefillah in the Kodesh Kodashim. They don't want rain because they're tourists. But we need rain here in Eretz Yisrael. Before you go to a meeting, before you do something, talk to Rebbeinu Shalom. Your trouble's talking. They say about, I'm going to talk about AI soon, but they talk about technology. It's kind of just, why is technology developed so fast? It used to be a computer. For so many years it was a computer. Sometimes, how is it possible that Rebbeinu Shalom keep track of these things? And people stop believing it. So the technology has to come out so fast. If you think about it, there's 3 satellites, it's free to use, GPS. Wherever you go, it tells you where to go. Puts them back onto the right path. So it goes that so fast. You think now, ChatGPT, it's all about prompting. What are you supposed to ask? How are you supposed to say? It's like, you reach a level of Munah B'Tachlis, Rebbeinu Shalom, just give me Munah B'Tachlis. I just trust whatever you give me. When you start davening, you have a whole list of items. You reach to a level of Munah B'Tachlis, you go. So tefillah is an important component. Tzedakah is tefillah, but tefillah is mundane. Talk about the things that are important to you today. What are the problems you're going through? What are the challenges that you're going through? And talk about it. That's the Rebbeinu Shalom. Rebbeinu Shalom is your best friend. That's the relationship. If you want to build a relationship with Rebbeinu Shalom, don't think that you can't have this high level things. So I know going through at different levels, you have different levels of Munah, and different things you're davening for. One thing that is, if you're saying the Volatzin, if I worked on something, I shouldn't fall apart. This is everything. All of us are doing something. You have a business, you're trying to build a business. At least the things you have shouldn't fall apart. I had an amazing word from a cow from Waterbury's. I learned the Yeshiva for Akwa. He was my rebbe before he had a culture. In the beginning of Shemon Esrei, it says, Goyimel Chasad V'Toivim V'Koin Echel. It tells everyone you do good deeds because you own everything. What's the connection? You do good deeds, you own everything? The answer is someone has a lot of money. And a kid turns 16. The kid wants a car. The kid says, Dad, why do you car? It could be the best thing or the worst thing. It could be the best thing. Shrek, do chesed. 16 years old, give rise, help people. It would be the worst thing. It's a whole element of friends that it's the end. Good deeds. Give me what I'm asking for. You own everything? Make it work out. That's what good to me. But sometimes you don't listen to it. Said Melech Oizer or Mashiach again. Oizer from all the times I think I'm helping myself and doing the right thing, you have to do the Shabbos. If I'm telling I'm doing the right thing, I'm not sure I'm going the opposite. Have the schus, everyone who jumped in, and that's schus. Sometimes you think you're doing the right Shabbos. In the Goyish world, there's no real, the closest word to Ishtablis, Ishtablis and the Baruch takes care of success. How do you balance it out? So the Goyish word really is called inputs and outputs. You're in charge of your inputs. And at the end of the day, the inputs, when I open up in Lakewood, this guy walks over to me once and tells me that, I opened up the mortgage business, the guy said, my Rosh Yeshiva told me that I could come to work, just being a star, and I can make a parnassah. I said, okay, I never heard of such a thing. But that's what Rosh Yeshiva told you. Who am I to ask? I ended up going on a road trip that year because all the Rosh Yeshivas. And then every Rosh Yeshiva, now to go on a road trip Rosh Yeshiva is very tough because every year you took a lot of Yeshivas. But that wasn't like, I went and spoke. All the big Rosh Yeshivas, I asked them, inside a shovel, this I all the wrong pieces added on it. Inside a shovel is as follows. You all made a decision that you could make your parnassah what you need by coming to first Seder here and coming to night Seder. And then people make parnassah 11 hours a day. But your job is then to align yourself in the status of a place that's shaykh. You can't become an attorney and decide to come and work from 11 to 7. Now, can you find a job to make the parnassah you need and make millions of people? 100%. Your Ishtalis is if you make up your decision first, how you want to structure your day, and you have a moon of betachon that's going to happen, you're following Das Torah, you'll be successful. Don't squeeze it in and decide, I'm doing this and I'm going to go. Connect the two dots. Go through it. So, I tell one thesis that I found. People ask me many times, I was to train more people in commercial real estate. And salespeople from straight out of Yeshiva. We had people that they were on Tumchei Shabbos. They were collecting for them the first week they were there. At the end, they were supporting Tumchei Shabbos. What did I learn in hindsight? People talk about what's a Shabbos? What is the line for Shabbos? When does my Shabbos start? Where does it end? What's the reality? I'll tell you what I learned. This answer. I have a foolproof answer. Never failed. If you had your twin brother ask you, I want to go into your business. You're Matzliach. I want to go into your business. What should I do to be Matzliach in the business? Your brother turns to you, and you give your brother say 100 things you should do. Wake up at this time. Keep your phone up during davening. No, keep it on and answer during davening. Do whatever you tell your brother to do, 100 points. Okay? How many hours you should work, how many phone calls you should make a day. Think about what in your job. You have questions what you should do every day. What would you tell your brother to be successful in your industry? Do one. And I said, now take the test. What do you do? Because everyone knows, I go to the gym, I'm supposed to work out every day. And then every day you sleep late, chakras on time, after a while you forget about it. There's never been a time that somebody gave themselves a 90 on the test that they would give to their twin brother, that they weren't successful. Ever. No exception. That's the Shabbos. You may not make up what you want your day to be. What do you believe? In every industry, every single business out there, you go to make it from that. I'll talk my business just for a second, but that's not the real estate. My opinion today is that the worst is behind us. I think that, with Trump coming into the office, rates aren't really going down that much. Now, with Doge, maybe the government has to borrow as much money, so there's supply and demand on that side. But for the most part, rates aren't going down. It's not good for people currently on real estate. But new people coming into real estate is amazing. Because at the end of the day, if he's cleaning up the federal government, that means if you owned office buildings and the government was your tenant, you're in trouble. If you had immigrants as your tenants and not here anymore, you're in trouble. If they make things more efficient and they stop letting buildings go and they get rid of regulation, that means rents are going to drop because new buildings going up. So current people, it's not that good, but new people coming in, it's amazing. There's opportunities like crazy. Sometimes when someone's bad back to come into the business. So one of the things which I put together over the years is that, and open offer, I have access, I have an internship, a remote internship. To log in, access the full videos of every course I was ever given. Because my business was built on remotes, everything's recorded and trained. So everyone wants access to it. He'll give you the email address after, but it's the website after. You can just log in if you want to get real estate. Again, go back to what's your chush. Be successful. What do you think you're good at? Not what the person next to you. People have this big debate in chinuch. Is that what do you do when your kid's 9 years old? Do you force your kid to come to shul? You don't force your kid to come to shul. What's the right answer? Again, proven. You know what the right answer is? What you actually believe. Not what your community and your neighbor thinks. Not what you're going to look like to your brother was going to tell you. That's what you did. Because there's enough case studies of 9-year-olds that parents forced them, and that's how they fell into the groove and they stayed good. Then the people forced them, I hate shul, I'm never going to shul ever again. People, the parents say, do whatever you want. And the kid can't forever do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. They grew into it, they came through. But if you go back to the parents, what was their belief system? I used to go to PCS courses.
Why does that make a difference though?
Huh?
How does that change the facts?
Because at the end of the day, as an Orthodox Jew, your job is shtatus. The burns when they say the results. You can't control the end. But what do you believe? Because if they PCS courses, I just go to PCS and I go, why are you not taking this course? I don't think I should take it, but my shver, my father, my brother told me I have to take it. Well, vice versa. They're not taking it, they're not taking it because it's the people that did what they thought, that do your shtatus, and every person. And that, do you reach a level of limitatum? I'll tell you a level that happened to me, it's just crazy now. At one point, I believe that everything is fine. There's bombs dropping, I go outside. It's on limitatum? Or am I crazy? There's a line between the two. So, something happened, and how do you know what that line is? I was very calm, a certain thing came out. I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, did I become that crazy person? Just being calm? Or no? I maybe reached the level. So I was asking this. I asked for Shmuel Kamenetsky's oldest son from his chinuch. He told me that if you're doing the ishtablis what someone's supposed to do when they hear that bad news, and then you're calm, then you reach the level of limitatum. If you're saying I'm calm because it'll be good, you're an idiot. What do you know what's cool? So these are little gedarim that I learned over time. So I wanted to, before specific advice to you to answer questions, is that at the end of the day, in whatever you're going to do and want to do, and whatever your talents are, people are making money in every business. People make money in every industry. The key thing is, what do you really want? It's about your want and your passion. People used to call me and say, I have a great person, hire him. Yeah, just hire him. 3 weeks later, the guy wasn't there. Because if, at the end of the day, he wasn't good for the roles that were there. You have to match with success. Now, if someone calls it a great person, I say, what does the person want to do? If the want matches, then I'll hire. And that's the job I have, great. If not, not. The fact someone's great doesn't mean it's going to work out. If you want to start playing violin, at the end of the day, your parents force you to play violin. I used to weigh 100 pounds more. I just story. I did the band surgery like 10 years ago. Okay? And right afterward, I was very nervous. I went to the gym every day for 2 hours. I had a trainer for 2 hours a day. 1 day in the gym, 1 hour in the gym, and 1 hour on the tennis or whatever. Because I feel I'm not an athlete, but there's one sport you can play and not be an athlete, and you can play till you're 80 years old. But wherever I go, I talk sale. I talk to people. So this guy's telling me first day I come onto the court, I'll never forget, I hit the ball, who knows where. He goes, you I can train. I said, you're very good. He tells everybody. He goes, no. There's 2 types of people who come on the tennis court. One guy can't hit it over the net, and one guy hits it a mile. If you can't hit it over the net by yourself, I can't help you. You're lost. If you hit it a mile, I can teach you how to spin it, the wrist, you can play with it. He's telling me an interesting thing. He says the reason why America doesn't produce the best tennis players is because it's a very costly sport. He says the people that the parents force the kid to play, there they go. They don't want to play. They come late to the lesson. He goes, you watch, you see those kids sitting on the side there? Those kids are poor. They sit and watch the training. And the minute they come at 10 o'clock is the lesson, they take the 10 o'clock till the guy is paid, comes on board. And the minute the guy takes a break to go on his phone, they step onto the, but that's the one. If you want to do something, you figure it out. If you don't want to do something, things don't make it. The advice I want to give, my son is there, the same. Right now the world is changing. AI is changing the world, okay? I used to think that 50% of jobs are going to be affected. I think the number is much higher. But I want to give you the clarity and where your age, if you're under 25 years old, is the greatest, and then it starts escalating down afterwards. It's not that AI is going to replace me or you. It's not replacing you. That's not what's happening. What's happening is that each tool and each thing of AI is going to allow each person to do double the amount. So if you work in a business that has 100 things that have to be processed a day, and each person can process 10, you need 10 employees. But if they give each person better tools and automation, that instead of being able to do 10, they could do 20, the company only needs 5 people. Did the 5 people get fired and replaced by AI? No, they got replaced by people that are using AI. So I know when he was in school for computers and technology, I said, listen, learn this. People need to be trained like a tutor. He basically became a tutor if you want to learn how to use AI. That's what he does. Or the guy has a business, he'll consult the business. He couldn't believe, rightfully so, that someone's going to pay me just to use ChatGPT. But the truth is, there's a line, the land, the starting point is the worst case is the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. There's also, you don't realize, plenty of people, they keep coming out with so many things at the same topic. My advice to everybody in the room over here, everybody, is you can't look at AI as this thing to the side. You have to figure out your own, you want to make the most possible money in the current job and be the most recruited for any company the planet will get you. Learn how the work that you're doing could be replaced as much as possible with what tools with AI. What within your company could you bring in? Become that person in your own office for every tool of AI that's possible. Because even if your boss can't afford to pay you, there's going to be some company that realizes, oh my gosh, things are starting to fall apart on me. Who knows AI? Get your name to that. You're that person within the organization. So if you're in a company, you bring in a consultant like this, I tell you, one thing I'm telling to my son the end of it is, as it started to pick up, my son-in-law, he took my son-in-law just now as a partner because he's getting an account. There's no competition. Every company in the world needs training. So if you have a chush for technology, learn AI. I had a call 6 months ago. I put a post on LinkedIn, and I want to know if any one of my connections, because I have a lot of bank information, and I thought I could sell that or license it for ChatGPT. They'll train on my information. So this guy messages me. He works at OpenAI, and he goes, "They're never going to buy you data. They don't buy data. You don't understand how it works if you think that they're buying data. But if you want to try," he gave me an idea how to try. A week and a half ago, I reached back out and knew what happened. I said, "Well, you were right." He said, "By the way, would you get on a Zoom with me?" I go, "Sure." The guy used to work at NASA. Now it's OpenAI. So you can imagine the brain the guy has. He's 32 years old. He's Jewish. Not from at all. From Israel, nothing. Just happens to be Jewish. So he was able to talk Hebrew words because only he speaks Hebrew, not because he has any like. So the guy tells me that a few years ago he went through a major depression, and his depression was he had to go to therapy. And his depression was that he sees all the tools that are coming out, and he sees what AI is doing. And he says, really, he thinks every job's gone. No, this is all day. Look at the robots, don't work for you. If you're a plumber, greatest job in the world. You actually do something. Everybody else, even then, you can have a robot help with the guy when he's doing plumbing. This guy's totally serious. Like he's living in the what's it called today. And he says, at the end of the day, he just wants. He says, listen, it's the work that they go through. There's exceptions to the room you have. But for the most, if you're starting out, this is your place to shine. In my opinion, two people are going to benefit. Those that have 20 years experience or more, they're going to teach the AI whatever they know, so they could train it. And it's the people of the next generation. I mean, why should I used to hire someone with 10 years experience? What did you bring to the table with 10 years experience? 10 years experience. But somebody using ChatGPT fully today, at 19 years old and 20 years old or 21 years old, using it and adapting it and not being threatened by it, is better than I would hire that person. I would not hire any vendor or anybody that doesn't use, like a guy says, used to open the office, I don't have a smartphone. Okay, after a while you deal with it. Now if you don't have a smartphone, you can't go into certain parts of business. If someone doesn't use AI, like 20 times a day, I wouldn't hire them. I wouldn't use, a vendor calls me up and says, I do whatever product, that service I do. I said, use AI? His answer is no, I wouldn't hire him. Like, at the end of the day, how do you not go into that business to go from that point? So, my advice is, on the Ruchnistical level, make the deal to Mershon. Tzedakah, pledge now, that you all can do. Step up on your davening, your Emunah B'tochen, your status of what's it called, you want to take it, that's on the Ruchnistical level. My father used to tell us the line always, I remember the office quotes it, is that when it rains, when the shefa's here and it rains, don't go home. You're having a bad day, nothing's selling and working, just close down and just go home. But a day that's working, the shefa's coming, don't stop. Take it wherever you can. But on the practical thing, whatever job you're doing, there are steps. I tell people it's automation intelligence if you think about it. That's what AI is. What parts of the process can be automated? Not to replace you, but there's some people scared to start doing it. It's going to replace me. My job is gone if I do this. Your job's going to be gone anyway. Someone's going to do it, someone's going to do it. You should be the one that brings it into your company. You should be the one that learns it. You should be the one to take it. And then do the same business my son is doing. If you learn it, start consulting people. I think he built the biggest consulting agency to ever the next young generation. Those are not good at tech. Those are good at talking about it, sales it. Is it? It's imagine if the internet, I tell people, the opportunities, imagine if CRMs to keep track of contacts, emails, websites, and social media all started today. How many opportunities, how many businesses, things you can do? This happens, that's what AI is going to do. It's going to replace and do everything. So you're young, take it in. I feel bad for the people that don't take it in. And I don't even think about what the next job is. People that debate it, I can have my own opinion of debates. I'll end with one thing, a robot, and then if someone asks questions. People say, you got a robot in your house? You have a robot, the Roomba. But the new version came out. It has a basket on top with a robotic arm. So it goes around the room and hits a toy, just picks up the toy, puts it in the basket. Your room is totally clean. Everything's in the basket. You can't train it to put onto the shelf. I think that's gonna be so difficult. The Tesla can drive by itself, but it can't figure out these things. That it's not that far, right? All these things are here. People just have to learn how to use it and get things better at it. But that's my message. I hope this is beneficial to you. I can answer questions. I know 9:55 is told to stop. So guys, let's go.
When did AI in your company? It sounds like I think most people in the room know AI for general basic stuff, but like.
So, again, think of it like the name he opened up his company is Shui, which is the acronym is Supercharged with AI. It's not changing. How to do better. So I myself, I make phone calls. I started calling myself in the product I'm selling now. I use an auto dialer, right? It's AI-based auto dialer. It's connected to my knowledge base. So now what happens is, when I make a call, the client asks me a question. I don't have to type the question if I don't know the answer. The system is connected to my internal ChatGPT, and on the screen it pops up the answer. So the guy says, "What's your fee?" It just pops up on the screen, 4,500. And I say 4,000. It flashes, no, 4,500, not 4,000.
If you're making a mistake, it'll correct you.
Correct. But before it makes the mistake, and the phone call's over, it drafts the email based on the call it thinks I should have an email on. I can just edit it and send it the way it is.
See, when did it all? I'm just time-wise. When did this all start? The last 2-3 years?
Forget about that's irrelevant.
I'm just
Go
asking
right
you.
now. They're spending $1 billion a day. I mean, it's crazy. What's everywhere you turn, the goal is to make everything more efficient. So in my office, someone's doing research. So someone's doing research, it takes them 10 minutes to find out information. By using some of the tools that came out, it takes them 6 minutes. That's 40% time is gone. So if there's more, my son's opening question to someone is 2 questions. You have 20 employees. If every employee was as efficient as your top 3, how many employees would you have? Most people answer, after they make a joke, they answer 15. That means if all 15 start using it, that's it, 5 people don't have a job. On the flip side, I asked them, if you had more time, what would you do with it? Oh, I'm gonna do more sales. So you could free up, that's the other side of the equation, doing sales. But some industries can't do the next level. They came out with this thing called, and this is just the beginning version of it, they came out with this thing called Operator. ChatGPT, a week ago, whenever it was, not even, whatever it was, you literally could tell it to do tasks for you. You tell it, I want to rent an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment that allows pets in Lakewood, New Jersey. It opens up your browser and you watch on the screen. Does a Google search, comes to the website, does the filters, it chats with the chat of the thing, and then tells you, by the way, it's ready. Do you want to sign the lease? This is not a joke like farm. This is here. It's working now. So is it buggy? Yeah, it's a little buggy. But again, you're also buggy when you don't do things perfect. This guy says, the guy from chat, I was gonna say, a human is just an inefficient computer. Like, I forgot what his line to me was. So is it gonna replace people? No. But you're gonna have people's jobs basically running operators, running these bots. That's your job. This task thing, follow this task goes to this one, it makes order. So at least learn it. You can't be your age and not know this code. That's your advantage. Your advantage is this.
What's the best way to learn AI?
Huh?
What's the best way to learn AI?
So for starters, without a joke, you know you can talk to AI. Right? So yeah, just this show, it works. I don't know if it's of course now it's not gonna work right here, but
Does it work?
huh?
It works.
So just to go a little bit Jewish.
Wi-Fi.
Huh? Just to go a little bit Jewish, we'll see if it wants to go. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm about to speak in a yeshiva, and the way it works in this yeshiva is that the Bachrim learn half a day. They learn until 11 o'clock in the morning, then they go work, then they come back for night seder. Some of them are married, some of them are single, probably in their 20s for the most of the part. And I want to talk to them about how they should learn AI. What's the best method I should teach them to use AI? And tie it into a good joke in this week's Parshas Beshalach.
That sounds like a great opportunity. When talking about learning AI, a good approach is to encourage them to see it as a tool that enhances their skills, just like learning the more enhances their understanding. Emphasize curiosity, experimentation, and system practice. Parshas Beshalach might tie in the idea of crossing the sea and facing the unknown. A good joke might be, just like when Israel had to take that first step into the sea, sometimes you just have to dive into AI
Most people are using AI wrong. They're using it still like this old whatever. You can be a therapist. You can answer any kind of, if you look like this, like I spoke to it, that's the point. If you don't know this is like how you could use it for. Use it. I did a presentation on H3. It's putting it on his website. It's on the website. This is like nothing. And you're blown away by it. Imagine what, it's crazy.
What AI is the best one for you?
That already,
Grok.
huh? Depends on what, dude. I don't know.
Grok.
Go.
Grok.
Honestly, Grok it's not any better than the other. They're all more or less the same. For if you want to use one and just stick with it, ChatGPT just does most features built in as far as apps. So pick one from ChatGPT, and then you want to like if you want to like research things, like just to learn stuff. There's a very good newsletter called the Neuron. You can look it up after. For an email, just gives you like basic information. You know, you ask, you won't understand about half of it the first week reading. You ask ChatGPT to explain to you that half you don't know, and then by the second week you'll have everything down.
It's the new spell check. Right? The spell check. How do you not send it through? Every question, the boss asks a question, you know the answer. The answer then.
If someone wanted to join your real estate internship program, how much time out of their day? What's the?
There's two ways. If someone's doing it, it's not more than 2 hours. Someone's doing it for education wise, they can watch court, read court. It's like an access to a library, whatever you want. And even if there's a daily Zoom call, you can decide to watch the recording. It's not more than an hour or two. Someone wants to try to sell and make phone calls to try to learn how to break into real estate. Same thing if you want to do it. That's, again, if your passion is real estate to learn it, that's one part, or you want to try to attempt to do sales. So I gave the name Clay Kodesh internship. If you're in Chinuch or this, you can go to the non-Jewish world, I call it internship. I call it Clay Kodesh internship. But within everything, so yes, the question is that that's on one part of it. The other part of it, we're having someone now scour the web every day and bring for me, go to a bunch of websites and see who closed deals. Then go and Google, get their information, then I prepare an email. I just have to get ready to press a button. Yeah, send that. How much time would it take? So now that's saying one person and me. Could this person say, well, you're really on top of all my business that I'm doing? But I'm using, instead of having a bunch of secretaries assisting, you can build these AI tools.
What system do you use for that phone thing?
Huh? But there's a company called Vico. The guy came to me, this kid, that's the whole thing. It's all under the age of 30. This kid, 20 years old, came to me, won some contest in AI. He went, what should you think I could build that I could sell? I told him, you should come build this. Or we talked different ideas. But I said, you could build a phone burner like this. He's going to build it, charge $100 a month for people to use these different tools. But I wanted to say, if you want the future big business, I think is going to be huge. If you learn how to use it, you're going to walk into it's way bigger than the real estate firms. You're going to walk into a business that is full of people, an old school. They're making $300,000. You're going to syndicate with people to buy the business at the market. It's worth $300,000. It's worth $900,000. You're going to come in there, automate the whole thing. You cut expenses in half. Use automation to do marketing. Do all your Google ads. So you run it fast. The business now is worth $2 million. You flip the business to the next person.
And the owners are older.
That's what's the older or not. Just like the people are not adapting.
Yeah.
You got, let me tell you, when you meet people, just realize someone says AI is not changing the world in a year or 7 years. It take longer. That means you have a lot of time to make a lot of money in this different thing.
Some of the best deals that I brought in was because I sent mailers specifically, and the header of the mailer is that I went old school because they appreciate that. Everything's email, everything's so fast.
Today you can have a system do that for you. So what you just did, you did 10 a day. In less time you did 10 a day, you can have it more personalized and go onto LinkedIn, check how the person is, come back to like this, and draft it, and just send 1,000. If you're willing to trust it after all, you train it how you think, these are the next steps, and keep getting better and better. But then again, you got a secretary who's overseeing it. So I don't need someone with 10 years experience anymore. Someone using these tools are much more powerful, valuable than someone that's a secretary there.
My work, we try to implement, work on it, pre-qualified, so we have a lot of these coming in. Instead of salespeople going to everybody, want to train all the actual roles. And the AI will hold people and pre-qualify
So
these.
the answer, we're testing the same thing. We have to break down which part of piece. Like, so I'm thinking if I'm not doing those pre-quals in my company name. If we want to see the numbers working, have it just AI call under a different entity. So if it's a problem, they shut that down, not you down. And then you leave someone better lead. It's a bunch of different steps, but net of it, it's much cheaper to do. And one salesperson could, that's what I think it's super.
5% of the leads, 10%. So much lead.
But if you have all these AI bots doing it, this is a regular conversation live. I mean, this is.
The problem is it has to be FCC approved, and you'll never get that approved.
But again, so you have certain people willing to take the risk. It's not your company.
Yeah.
But again, listen, at all
That's what I'm
different
saying, even you, like, for example, on it tells you, you have 30 days until you get FCC approved if you want to send out automated text messages, and then if you're not approved, they shut you down.
So these guys open up. Okay, my point is that whatever business you're doing now, you could speed up what you're doing at 2x or 3x or 4x. Some areas is 100x. Right? I love this one thing. This guy calls me and goes, he has a business that people outsource. He goes, you know why you should use my company? Because they all use AI tools. And what you normally pay one person to do, 10 times that. I said, I don't want to break it to you. Your whole business is going to close down soon. The only reason why I would think outsource, so let's say I have 20 low-level people that could outsource. I don't want to deal with them. So you could deal with them, you'll take the 20 people from me. But if you're telling me that they could use all the AI tools, only 2, I'd rather have 2 sitting in my office that get other benefits being in my office with me, overseeing all these tools and get the same results. So and I realized after this phone call with this guy, like right now you can take a picture of your fridge, a picture of your pantry, and say, I want to make supper, what can I make with it? And it'll tell you ideas on how to make it, repeat, whatever you want there. They can have robots cooking, right? So you think about, I could order Uber Eats. Why do you order food from Clopite? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to cook, you don't want to potchki, you go in and buy it. But with AI, once you have it, you could build, you're doing your own cooking at home, you can have a robot inviting 8 people to supper. What do you want, what do you want, what do you want? Ask all of you. It orders the ingredients in advance and just cooks it on the table. They don't get what they want. You think, if you keep thinking about it, it's crazy. So being advanced, what business could you be in? That's the other side of it. But for starters, I'm telling you, starters, whatever you're doing now, how could you do 20% more? That's what you should think. How could you bring AI into your company, your most valuable?
How do you bring in leads from AI?
However you do it, think about it as automation. However you do it, AI, think that it'll automate that process. That's all it is. So if you do 9 steps, maybe you can't do all 9 steps. So you do 3 of them, 4 of them today, and 1 half and half. You now in that same time frame, you'd rather fix the mistakes of that difference, but you double the people your entity goes with.
So basically build an AI thing to write my notes for me.
But
in
build it,
Salesforce.
that's built in. That's every system has that. That's like the Aleph of Aleph is.
So why is it not listening to my vocals?
Ah,
Do the same thing.
That already is way past my pay grade. Big brother watching you and everything you're doing anyway. That's what I can say. I assume that everything does.
Listen to you through.
Okay. Hatzlacha.